use my affiliate link to support the channel down in the description. Blackout Laughs. Why is this one of the best cards right now? Or why do you play Blackout Laughs?
Yeah, bro. I'll explain why Blackout Labs was in my side deck and why I decided to play free. So the thing was, I was trying to look at a card that was good going first, and that could buy me a turn if I got hand trapped to death. Because like that's the only way you lose going first both side in branded. So I was kind of looking for a card that would survive me a turn and just buy me a turn basically. So I was looking at cards like different dimension grounds that wasn't doing anything for me. Of course, you can just do fusion duplication, but some people are still in droplets. So even when you go fusion duplications and all boss and the puppet, in order to puppet lock your opponent in their turn, they might as well just droplet you, which you'll kind of lose to, which most of Tenpai players were doing, and even the Snake Eye players. So I didn't want to kind of lose to that. So I decided to play Blackout last because like you can just survive a turn if you do this correctly and just call correctly. Like let's imagine like your opponent has one Snake Eye Ash, an enormous Snake Eyes Ash, summons Poplar effect, adds Divine Temple, and Divine Temple acted spell traps the Oak. Then you go Snake Eye Ash effects with the Oak in order to summon Flamberge from deck, but then you just call Blackwood Laughs on the effect of Snake Eye Ash, call Flamberge. So they would have to summon the Snake Eye Steel Bellstar, and when they do that, they kind of have to go like kick, go into the IP Masquerena, and then when it gets to your turn again, you can just go draw phase, Blackout Laughs, call the Masquerena, which will help you like play through their last interaction and just like hopefully OTK them. And also against Tenpai, if they like shifted you or anything, you can just go set Blackout Laughs, and when they summon Pydra at Kaiman, go into battle phase, activate Kaiman, you call Tenpai Dragon Chundra, and they will never OTK you because they will never get to the tuner, which gives them access to the Synchro 7, which will generate enough like damage for the OTK. So that's also a nice thing. And also, I want another consideration was a deck lockdown, but I wanted something I could set off Trust because I'm already maining free Trust and I'm already maining Talents. So I wanted a card that I could otherwise draw into or at worst discard. And Blackout Last was kind of that card. That's just like really broken.
So do you recommend generally people run 3-1 as a thrust target, especially since like, you know, we're branded players around here, but I think like a lot of other decks can use the card quite well, such as like Tier. I think like Lab uses it quite well, obviously. Like I would say, you know, I've been using it as a one of personally when I've been doing it, but I know you just, you know, you went second place at the Dutch Nats. So what was your approach to like deck building with it?
So like I prepped like really hard. I play like every deck and like I tested against every deck with my friend Eddie, of course, and like my other people of my test group. And like we just thought like this card's like if you know what to call at the right time, you're always like surviving a turn. Just like really nice. So I decided just to play free because like also I'm on Desire, so I didn't want to just play one and then just like banish the one. And I think this card's also a good discard of Opening, a discard of Rebellion. So that's also like a plus point of it. And yeah, I think not everybody should be playing free. Not all decks can do it. I think like if your deck is already playing Trust or it's a mill deck, because like I would play probably at least one in Lightsworm because you can also like do a trick with Foolish Burial Goods in order to send it and then negate an Appaloosa or like bait a School Guardian, for example, or anything else, or like a Hope Harbinger. So yeah, it's a really good card. Would I main it in every other deck? Probably not, but in branded it's like really nice.
Yeah, so you would probably run 3 and like some is branded. And obviously it's there as a thrust target too if you want to experiment with it. But I think like the point is like even if you draw it, it's like really nice as a discard fodder. I was running it in TEARLAMENTS. It's really nice to just pitch off of Imseti. It just makes it so, and you can use it offensively as well because you can go you know, call a name on your opponent's board, basically call Appaloosa. It's like Raul was talking about, basically. It's very strong card.
Very strong card. And like if you know how to read cards, like read your opponent's hand from how they like kind of sequence their hand. Like let's say like they go like they start with main phase wanted and you just go like call Witch. That's also like a good play. Or like if they like went like triple bestial on you and you're like only left on the mirror jade and you have the Blackwood last set, you will probably just win that game on the spot. Because like even if they have Snake Eye as Witch, they go like wanted at Witch. You go like call Witch, and they go normal Snake Eye Ash, and then effect summon Poplar at the Divine Temple. Then you just banish the Snake Eye Ash, and then you bought yourself a turn because they will never get to Flamberge. They probably just only will be linking into a Dark, and then that Dark into Princess, and that Princess into probably a Raging Phoenix, and that will just like try to out something. So I don't know, like even like in a board state where you like have like only a Mirror Jade or only a Cartesia, this card's like just a pass turn basically. Like it's also like just like a nice card to have. Also, what I did in the tournament a lot, because like a lot of people, especially like the Tenpai players, they were kind of scared for Branded because of the puppet lock. So they were playing like multiple Bestials, multiple Dilly Crows, multiple Bells. So with the Blackwood Glass, if you go like you try to puppet lock your opponent, and let's say you weren't able to do it on their Lost, and like you didn't have Lost on the field, then you had to do it on Fusion Duplication. And they like say they activate Bestial Magnitude to summon. You can just chain Blackwood Glass on the Bestial Magnitude in order to make the puppet lock go through. So that's also a nice thing.
Yeah, no, that's kind of a broken interaction. And also I just think it's like such a new card. A lot of people just have not really experimented with it. Like I think you said nobody in Top Cut was playing it, right? When you for your Nats the other day. Are there any? Yeah, no. Here, let me read some chats. I gotta test what Vanadium would do without Apo for real, says Salty Fry. I have no clue what Vanadium would do without Appaloosa, but I'm sure they can find out something. Jake the Mountain Man, if you have matchup knowledge, Black Goat is crazy good. Yeah, that's exactly what Raul was really getting at. Like, if you know how to read a hand and just like if they go, if they start Poplar and you know what that means, they have a weaker hand. You can kind of just like find the best choke point. I don't know if Raul wants to expand on that, but
yeah, that's like especially like that's like just the goo, man. Like you just said it, and like you just can if you like know the deck like really well, like you can just like see when the hand is weak and like you know what to call then. Like that's so easy. Even like against Labyrinth, calling like Lovely Labyrinth is also like really broken, and then it's going when you try to summon Lady, you just go like Black Coat, go Lady Labyrinth with Silver Castle, and they will never be able to set another trap to get follow-up or access to D barrier. So that was also a nice interaction. Didn't face
Snake Eyes search for pop, activate Black Goat, call Flameburge, see ya. Yeah, basically.
True. Very true.
Do you think Flameburge is usually the best call against Fire decks?
100%. If they don't get to that card, they will probably not even end on the board. Because like they're also wasting a body, right? In theory. So yeah, it's really good.
Are there any other like decent calls?
Like, or of course, like you cannot call Flamberge when they go like Diabell Star, pitch Flamberge, and then set original, because like they can still summon from grave. So don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah, no. And then like, how about something like Voiceless Voice? Like, what would you call against Voiceless Voice with a Blackout laughs?
So let's say like they did pre-prep, and now let's say that they did Saphira and they used Saphira effect, and already they have Skull Guardian in hand. You just go Blackout Glass, call Skull Guardian, and they won't get to the continuous spell or low. And like that kind of beats them already. That's kind of an FTK right there.
So then what about something like Melodious? What would you call against Melodious? Like maybe like you could go from the pure to like maybe the piles.
So okay, against the pure version, like if they start with Ostinato, you would just call Baja, the Maestra of Meliodas, and they are forced to go to Scuberta, and that's like probably just Scuberta pass unless they have the normal summon already. But like against that matchup, you probably still have like a board with it as well, so it's like good enough in order like to get you a turn, even getting triple hand traps, let's say. And like if it's the PAL, let's say worst case scenario, it's Snake Eyes, Meliodas with Ostinado cards. Of course, this card alone like cannot like help you survive against that deck, but I would always just on Ostinato just always call Baja, because like Baja is like it's like it's a custom card, like it's like Construct on crack basically.
Yeah, you're right about that actually.
Like summon from deck, summon from grave, Or the other one, oh yeah, okay. This special, when this special at the other one special, that one for Brave. So like too much advantage of one card. So like you kind of have to call that card all the time.
Flamboyant outlet says Tezco Talker. That's true, but okay, yeah, no, that's good. How about against Branded in the mirror match, in the dreaded mirror match? We'll call against Branded, or against, I guess, against Branded in general.
So that depends on how they start their turn. Like let's say they started fusion deployment, of course. I would always call Cartesia. Cartesia brings too much pressure to the board, so like calling Cartesia there is like a must-have. If they start with branded fusion and like let's say they don't have a dark engrave, I would call Libellion the Searing Dragon instead of Mirror Jade because like Mirror Jade and Mirror like doesn't do anything basically. So you kind of want to keep them off like engine cards, access to like tragedy or something, and like force them to go into Albion into Jade. So that's like way better. And like yeah, of course like it's mostly used against like Cartesia. I still fight this in the mirror, but I don't really think it's that broken against the mirror because like in the mirror you're playing freely, right? So like you're only kind of worried about Bestials or like Droplet or something. So you mostly just call the Bestials when you try to puppet lock him, and then you just basically win from there.
Very nice. Yeah, no, that's why it's so good, I think, because it's so versatile. Charlie, I don't know if you're here, but we are going to be doing the Sky Striker profile. What would you call against Sky Striker if you were going against them with Black Goat Laughs? Not for any personal uses at a local in the upcoming future for me.
Probably just Kagari. It depends. Like Hayate might not be bad, like, but usually Kagari because like a big play, Hayate resolving and then Kagari adding back whatever you dumb sometimes is like big and just like cutting them off of if they open like insane and they open like 3 spells plus engage and they're just like drawing a card like obviously they're not getting like the second one, so it's usually just Kagari because there's like no way to really like you just kind of want to like cut them off and like just start steamrolling the advantage if like the engages start resolving, or like Ray isn't too bad, but like there are times where like if you could like get their striker link off the board, like if they're like going second, because like we're assuming that like they're going second, right? Like the striker player is going second, so like if you have like a way to like clear the Ray off of the board or to clear the striker link off of the board and then they go to like chain the Ray in the graveyard, you could chain like that trap to it, and then that's like pretty big, but that gets like punished by like, oh, did he like have like a Hornadrone or something? And then they can like get their Kagari. So I think Kagari is probably just like the safe bet. But like I've also have one game is like I played against like a weird like Snake Eye. It was like this dude at Snacks that plays Snake Eye Evil Sore. Like he plays like the trap that gets like the Lars set up shit. And he plays like more like traps instead of like hand traps, and he like kind of bricked, but he like Black Goes Left my Kagari, and it didn't really matter. Like it cut me off from like a turn, but I was still able to like access engage through like Shizuku. So it was probably usually just Kagari.
And then I was also thinking about Centurion, also being one of those decks that we could think about things to call. I think it would be Primera, wouldn't you agree, Raul?
Yeah, if they start with field spell, yeah, of course you always call Primero because like they probably will spell trap it. But like I think if you are reading that he's trying to bait you, you could also just like call the Synchro 12, the Dark Dragon one, if you really want to do it safely. Because like the good player will always try to bait it out if he knew you said it with trust. But if you blindly said it, I think you always call Primera. If they go like stand up Centurion discard and then Centurion Primera in the spell trap zone. So yeah, like it really depends. Like how you think your opponent, how good your opponent is. So if you've seen him play before and you think, oh yo, this man's cracked, man. Like just be safe, because they will play around it.
Yeah. Is there anything really different to call against? Or I guess there's also Bell and Labyrinth that we could talk about too for the Blackout Laughs for like the last 2 decks.
Yeah, for Labyrinth, you just like mainly call like let's say you set it and like they activate Big Welcome and like they like bounce back the they you just always call like lovely Labyrinth because like they won't be able to reset like their Big Welcome Labyrinth, and like not having that Big Welcome Labyrinth set is like really crucial for that deck because like the deck like really that's like basically like Ash Bullsinging their big welcome. Or like on welcome you can just call Ariana, so they have to summon something like Lady or something. But yeah, like against that deck, like it's not that really good. It's like mostly good like against decks like Tenpai and Snake Eye. And that was like what I was prepping for, and also against voices, of course. Like and against the mirror, it's just a plus, I guess. And like against Yubel, I don't even know what to call because I wasn't really prepped for the deck that well. But I think I would just call something that they link into, and I think that one would be Yama.
Okay, so did you side it in against most of your matchups, or was it mainly just the impactful matchups?
I sided in against like most matchups because like I played like 5 Tenpai, 1 voiceless, 2 Snake Eye. Yeah,
Five
I just
Tenpai is
like
wild.
yeah, again, yeah, 5 Tenpai as well, but like it was 2-0 everybody, so like it was nice. And like every time I had it, I just won. So like I think like against those matchups, like the meta relevant matchups where I was prepping for, the card's like really broken. Like even against like Cash, you can just like if they start Pressure Planet, you can just call Unicorn if you know they're on pure Cash, not on Snake Eyes Cash. So like that's also like really nice. Yeah, and I didn't side it in if I wasn't like comfortable like knowing what to call. Because I played against like Runic Orcus. I did still side it in, and like when he activated Runic Flashing Fire to summon to try and search like the field spell, of course. I just chained called the Yugen on the summoning effect, and yeah, he just like summoned Gary and passed. So that was like really funny actually.
Yeah, it's really good against Runic. I noticed that too.
Yeah.
What would you say it's good against then in the Yubel matchup? Spirit or Yubel?
Yeah. Bro, like honestly, I think that deck's like kind of cope right now, but like I guess Birdo Yubel, and like if you really want to try to play it safe, you just call Yama, I guess. Like the most impactful thing the deck has, in my opinion, is like the Soul of Rage into SP. Because like the Omni negates like fair, but like it's not strong enough to stop branded. And like to getting to that super body set's like really hard for them to do. So like calling Yama might be like really good, like actually really good. Because I don't think they get to the rank 10 if they don't get to Yama. I'm pretty sure they can't.
That they can't get to the rank 10 if they if they don't go through Yama, you said?
Yeah, if I remember correctly, you have to go so pop one of the U-Bells, and then you go so one of the U-Bells will try to summon one from deck, and then the other one will try to summon one from grave, and that's how you get to level 10s on board. So if you call Yama, I think you just cook the whole end board. So just call Yama.
The Black Oat Laughs. So yeah, are there any other matchups that we can really think about though that like Black Oat Laughs like really thinking are relevant against right now? Like funny matchups like Marinsas, I feel like maybe going or calling Blue Slut or Sea Angel rather might be okay, or just something like that.
Sea Angel looks like the best one, or the Link 2. The Link 2 is like kind of good.
Oh yeah,
I think
Anemone is
Link 2
pretty
might
good.
be better.
Yeah.
Like there are some funky ones that even against Tear you can just like call like Tear Gash or like Shiren, like which is also like pretty good.
Oh
like,
yeah, against Tear. Yeah.
Or you just like when they start with the Horus engine, you just call Zombie Vampire. It's also pretty good.
You don't call the Imseti, you call Zombie Vampire, obviously.
Yeah, bro. Like fuck it. Like just don't take risks, bro. Don't take risks, dude. Yeah, like I'm just trying to think about some like that would be cool. Like against Lightsworn, you can just call the Synchro Minerva. That's also like really great, right? Because like they are forced to go into Baby Minerva and then just like try to mill Godly and just like try to get the engine that way. Like that's probably like just also pretty much an FTK because like that's one of the choke points of Lightsworn.
I was actually thinking, even if they snipe this card from you, it's still not dead. Pre-forces them to go neg 1, basically. Yeah, no, Black Oat Laughs is super utility.
Yeah. Also against like Chimera, if they go like Mirror Sword Knight and they activate Mirror Sword Knight, you can just call the the level 5, the Blood Monster, the main deck one. And they wouldn't be able like to go at Gazelle and Chimera Fusion, so they're forced to go Gazelle and like hope they open a Fiend in order to play through it. So that's also a thing. But I don't think that card's like too great in that matchup. Still, it's something you could do.
Ab Ninja says versus hero, you could call a Miracle Fusion target or IDK Plasma to prevent your board from being broken. What do you think against the hero matchup? I feel like maybe doing one of the guy that goes to spell and trap card, Vision Hero. Maybe that guy would be okay. The level
that's
5.
also an okay one. Or Ferris. Like Ferris is also a pretty good one, I think. I don't know. Like, but they're like it's mostly like good against like the top matchups like Lab, fucking Snake Eyes. Kashtira is good against Tenpai. Like,
Jake the Mountain Man said it's like he said if you have goat on a choke point, it's either a turn skip or a weak board for us to chew up, and the graveyard effect for follow up is GG.
Yeah,
oh
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. You got it.
That's the insane part, is if you like just have it in your hand to set or whatever off a thrust, and then and yeah, no, I think we covered. That was a really good encyclopedia on Black Goat Laughs. Like, obviously it's one of those cards, I think, like you always preface this, where it's very context dependent and board state dependent. So like, never think there's like one clear answer against most of these decks, but we're giving you guys like several options to consider while going against these decks that will likely be your hits for Black Goat. So
yeah, like blind calling the card is like the worst thing you can do, because like it can easily be played around. Like, let's say like my opponents went, like I'm playing against Tenpai and I set the card and he went Harpy's Feather Duster. I cannot blindly call Tenpai Chundra. I have to call the Synchro 7 in order for them to not OTK me. So like that's also like one thing you have to think about. Like sometimes your opponent can just duster and you have to do it blindly. You have to be prepared for that one.
Yeah, and then also I think you were talking about the other day where you just have to like let your opponent play into it kind of thing to get the best result, because like you have to see how they're handling. So just, I mean, like it depends on the matchup, obviously, because Tenpai's game 1 will have those board breakers half the time. We main decking in most decks outside of like Tearlament or Light Sworn. But
yeah, if you can mill or discard a lot, like something like a runic build could main deck it. Something like, yeah, runic Lightsworn, I would play free, honestly. Like that's like really broken. Also, for example, like Paleo Tier, you could also play free of it, because like the cards like too custom. You're already playing Foolish Burial Goods. Like Index, you're already playing Foolish Burial Goods in order to get access to engine or anything. I would play probably 2 or 1.
what would
like
you call
something like
against?
that.
Sorry,
Yep.
if you want to finish.
Yeah,
your thought.
no, that was about it.
If you wanna, what would you call against Sword Soul? Would you just call the
Synchro 8.
yeah,
100%.
Yugioh?
Yeah, yugioh 100%.
That's Salty Fry, the random mana player that you have.
Wait, maybe I call the token. Like, are all the tokens like called Sword Soul tokens? Because you can call a token as well.
That's crazy. I think Charlie just confirmed that. He cut out.
I think they are all called Sorcerer Token.
Yeah, you can just call for Sword Soul token. Like also like against Adventure, you can also just like call it on the Adventure token when they activate Rite of Armosphere, which is also kind of broken.
Probably
So, yeah,
call
a lot of
Turbulence.
utility.
Call Turbulence against Rescue Ace.
Yeah, that's also, bro, against Rescue Ace, bro, you have to be careful, man. Sometimes you can get finessed like really hard, actually. But like, yeah, Turbulence would be the best one for sure. The safest one for sure.
Ab Ninja, just so you know, but what would you call against Voiceless Voice with Black Goat Laughs?
So against, if you just want to see the fear in the eyes of your opponent, you just make him go like Saphira Effect at School Guardian, and then go Saphira Effect in Grave, and then you just flip the Black Goat called School Guardian, and then they will just crumble and like probably poop their pants and just scoop and go home and cry about it. So like I think just calling School Guardian is GG's in every scenario possible. So yeah, just call School Guardian, man.